Oh, harpsichord?
No.
Dulcimer?
Dulcimer.
Yeah, hammer dulcimer.
Yeah, he was from Arkansas, and boy, could he make that thing talk, and he played, you know, the fiddle tunes, that's what he
Yeah.
played best.
Okay.
The fiddle tunes.
Huh.
He played for many a band.
Okay.
And the dulcimer, and he and I were buddies at the First National
Yeah.
Festival in St. Louis.
Oh, well, listen, let me go on with what she says here. Yeah.
Sarah Gertrude Knott wanted him to play the dulcimer when I sang in Chicago, so he did.
Oh, I bet that was pretty then. Well, let me finish on here what she says then. At least I think it was David who sang that song. She's referring to Casey Jones. Whoever it was. Yeah. Well, let me go on. Whoever it was, he told me afterwards that he suddenly realized he was approaching the last stanza with its reference to another woman, which seemed tactless with Mrs. Jones there. So he rather abruptly stopped short, just barely ahead of that stanza. So he said, you know, oh yeah, that's what she means. That you realized that she was there and everything.
I left a couple of lines out and let the dulcimer play without me.
Yeah, uh-huh.
There's a lot of people in the audience that knew what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't say it.
No, well,
Damn me for suages.
yeah, that's a good move.
Let's see. Mrs. Casey sat on her bedside when she received the message that Casey was dying. She said, "Go to bed, children, and hush your crying. Oh, she got another daddy on the sofa."
Oh,
And
gosh.
that's what I left out.
Yeah. Listen, let me go on here then. So after she talks about where you stopped, she said, and then she goes on to talk about Glenn's article.
Right up in that nationally circulated magazine, they made a special point of that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, the mistakes in... Oh, gosh, yes. That you did the right thing there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, sure. No, well, that was a good thing. Let me go on with the letter here now. The mistakes in Glenn's article are no more than par for the course, so please don't bother him about them. It isn't worth it. Well, she didn't notice that article was written about 10 years ago. I should be very surprised if Mrs. McCord recorded more songs for me than anyone else, though she was very anxious to. I think Glenn in that article says that she got most of her songs, the most songs from May Candy McCord, but she says she doesn't. She says her versions were wonderful, but I was more interested in the singing styles of other people, less sophisticated musically. The older people use their voices differently, and very old vocal traditions survived among them. People like Ben Rice, that's your dad, isn't it? Yeah, Ben Rice, and the parents of Slim Wilson, whom he took me to meet in Bolivar. Curly? That'd be, yeah. Well, would that be Aunt?
Slim Wilson and his father and mother and his sister and his nephew, they all went on that bus, and I think the bus only held about 45 or 50, so
I bet it was.
the family was represented.
Yeah. Let's see. She says it was in 1936 and 37. I must have spent at least 3 months in the Ozarks. I must have recorded a good more than 90 titles, but they probably are cataloged under several different states. Then she goes on to say, I remember the Danoon family well, as of course David Rice, and of course David Rice, who sang a particularly beautiful love song with the refrain, oh well, I love you well. So she says, please remember me to David, who would have sung more songs if he had not had a terrible cold. I can picture him sitting in his backyard the next day so I could take pictures of him and his father. Well, I think that's very nice. She really... Yeah, but that's a nice letter, and I thought you'd like to hear it. Yeah, and she said she got my letter that I wrote her last week on her 85th birthday.
And 3 big cases in the back of her car, and Vance Randolph was with her taking care
Yeah.
of heavy stuff. And lots of people didn't have electricity, so one of those big cases had batteries so that
Oh, gosh.
the motor could run in case lots of people didn't have electricity.
Oh, no, not then, huh?
Lots of people. So Vance Randolph, he carried 2 of those big heavy cases in, and the one with the battery stayed in the back of the car.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, since Bill McNeil is tied up, I may check with him one more time, but I have access to a video camera now, and I have my wife's cousin's youngest daughter, who teaches in the Springfield school system, is the first one in my family that's interested in all this folklore and everything, and she's going to help me. Why don't we get together then in a few weeks, and maybe you get kind of a list of tunes, songs and stuff, and we'll go ahead and make our own tape. What?
The tunes.
Yeah, well,
I got to thinking the last few years. You see, my mother died when I was 2 years old.
Yeah.
I was raised with a young German stepmother, but I didn't know she was young at the time.
Yeah,
She was
mhm.
bigger than my dad.
yeah.
And her father had a hotel in Peoria, Illinois. And my mother died when I was 2, and she'd rock me and sing to me when I was little.
Uh-huh.
And I learned the tunes, and I had an older sister, and I learned the tunes to a lot of songs, and I'm just telling you now, it'd be hard to find. There'd be very few people that know more tunes. I mean, very few people that know more tunes than I do.
Yeah. Well,
Those tunes, I remember the tunes better than do the words. I remember them no perfect, and I learned tunes from my young stepmother. And my older sister, she picked up everything that was going around. And my dad sang those old ballads.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
You never heard but a fraction of them. You
Yeah.
never heard but a fraction.
Well, you know,
See, when people used to sit around the fireside of an evening, there wasn't any radio.
yeah.
And Dad knew more of those old songs than anyone that I ever
Uh-huh.
ran across in my life. And I learned the tunes to all of those, but then I learned all the tunes that was popular. And you know, there's a fellow named R. Richard Robertson.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember him.
Yes, well, he happened to have great big singing groups. I mean, big ones.
Yeah.
In Great Britain before he came over here, and some Springfield businessmen. There was 3 Springfield businessmen, I think, up in New York,
Uh-huh.
and got a hold of him and brought him back here. And that fellow, I'm telling you, he was, I don't think there's a better man in the world than that man. He had a lot of singing groups. I mean, big
Yeah.
ones in Great Britain,
Uh-huh.
all over it. Of course, he was Scotch.
Uh-huh.
But he had so many singing groups, and so we had what you call the freshman chorus. What I'm saying is I'd learned a lot of tunes. So the freshman chorus, he picked out a book. So I think there's 333 graduated.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a few.
Yeah, it is.
That was in 24. But when I started in, R. Richard Robertson was there, and he was organized. So every boy in the freshman class, every girl in the freshman class, they had freshman chorus on Monday. Every girl in the freshman class was in there, and I know he did. And on Monday, every boy in the freshman class was here.
Uh-huh.
And on Thursday, the whole freshman class, boys and girls, was there. We had this song book. It had the national anthems of all of those European countries.
Oh, my gosh.
It had the national anthem of England and France and Spain and Germany
Uh-huh.
and a whole bunch of countries
Yeah.
had their national anthems.
Well, you remember the last time we talked? It was just before it was right after the ice storm, and it was real cold. We stood on your front porch. Well, and the thing is, of course, then I kept waiting for Bill, down there in Arkansas, and they've had all these problems. Would you think it would be at all possible if we had somebody to maybe help just temporarily? Would there be room would it really be something to make this videotape in the same room you all recorded in before? Is that room too full of stuff, or? Oh, goodness. Well, that'd really be nice if we could. That'd really make it something, to actually be in the same room where you all recorded in was it 36? Yeah, I think it's 36. Be 34 then. Yeah, I think it was 1934. But listen, why don't you kind of get your list down?
What I was going to tell you,
Yeah.
about the tunes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I know. I do.
I remember the tunes, and I did a lot of whistling when I was
Yeah.
growing up.
Mm-hmm.
My dad called me, I whistled too much, he called me a whistle dick.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I know if there's anyone in the United States that knows more tunes than I do, there could be, but I'd like to meet him
Yeah.
because we had this book, and then we had we sang songs in every room in the grade school, all 8 grades. We had singing classes, and then they had supervisors that came around once a week.
Uh-huh.
Miss Cowdery and Maple Justice, J-U-S-T-P-I-S.
Mm-hmm.
They had supervisors, you know, but we had singing classes in every room.
Yeah.
And then I went to different churches when I lived in different places.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I learned songs in Sunday school, learned songs in church, and Dad sang. You never heard but a small fraction
Yeah.
of those songs. But I'm saying that
But-
I know all of the tunes.
Yeah. Did you ever find your song list you thought you had?
Well, Dad said he had them all written, but I don't think he was able to remember all of them.
Yeah.
I never did dig them out.
Yeah. Well, why don't you kind of?
If the mice hasn't got into them, they'll still be in there.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could find.
I've also written all of those songs down, but I know
Yeah.
because many a time why someone had come up with a song that he hadn't heard since he was a kid, and he would remember that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it would be one that he had never sung for me.
Well, if you could find his tune list, I'll make you a brand new copy of it on our big Xerox, and that.
That'd be the words.
Yeah. Well, if you could find that, that'd be extremely valuable. Now, my goodness, that would really be something.
I know it, and you know these old any old book, this historical records.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, I was talking to a fellow today that a lot of those old books. Let's see. I think it was something to do with city records.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
And they cleaned out an office and burned a whole lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what happens to most of it. Yeah.
But they were cleaning it out.
Yeah. But if you could find your dad's tune list, and list of words, that would be invaluable, and I'd make you an extra copy so that, if the other one's kind of fragile, you could have the extra copy to use, and then there'd be a copy, of course, to someday give to the Library of Congress or something, too. That would be,
My dad
but,
knew so many songs.
yeah.
So many
Yeah.
songs. It's just absolutely amazing because that's what he specialized.
Well, now since we have this delay from them, and now of course when I talk to Bill McNeil, he may be able to come up, in a week or so, and we'll go ahead that way. But if not, I'll go ahead and make you a list of what you sang for Charles Wolf and me 2 years ago.
You gave me a list.
Did I give you that list? Oh,
I think you did. And
okay,
and I think I put it in the middle.
okay. But what I was going to say, maybe think of some more that you didn't sing that time, But let me.
I'm sure there was a bunch of them.
Okay. Oh, I know there is. Yeah. Oh, bound to be. But now just like your.
He sang for years.
What we'll do is kind of make up a little kind of a prompter thing of things to talk about. Now, just like this whistling. People today don't realize how important whistling was. Whistling was our tape recorders. That's how your fiddlers learned a lot of tunes.
What helped me practice those tunes and learn those tunes, and I get them absolutely no perfect
Uh-huh.
tones and all. Everything that I ever learned from my dad and in Sunday school and
Uh-huh.
church. Growing up, we didn't have. We all used, and when I was growing up, there wasn't any supermarkets.
Oh,
We
no.
all went to neighborhood schools, and we all went to neighborhood Sunday schools and neighborhood churches.
Uh-huh.
And I remember going to meetings at Boulevard Baptist Church,
Mm-hmm.
and they'd have a meeting after church, and if it was a short meeting, they'd have it after church because everybody walked home. There wasn't any cars.
Yeah.
There wasn't any cars.
Uh-huh.
So if they had a short meeting, everyone lived walking distance of the church, and
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
everybody lived within walking distance of their work.
Uh-huh.
And they had a
Yeah.
They wake up at 6 o'clock whistle, and they get to work at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
They live within walking distance of their
Oh, yeah. Well, look. Yeah.
walking distance of the school, walking distance of the church, walking distance of the neighborhood grocery stores.
Well, listen, let me, I'll talk to him again, and in a few days I'll get hold of you, probably maybe this weekend or something, and maybe you can look that list over and kind of make a note of some tunes, some songs you haven't done, and we'll just hurry up and maybe next week or something, get together, and if we can't do it in that room you record in, we'll maybe go back down to my business or something, you know, where we won't be bothered, and we'll make a good tape, because this, David, this stuff needs to be put down, because, you know, when you and I are gone, you know, it's just gone. I mean, nobody...
Because they don't sit around the fireside.
No, they may do it.
They pass those songs down from generation to generation. Some of those songs were several hundred.
Oh, no doubt about it. But we need to get a record of these things, of what you know. I think it's very important. So listen, I'm going to have to get off the phone here, and I'll talk to you in a few days then. And you see if you can find that list that I gave you of what you sang for Charles Wolf and myself, and then also see if you can find your dad's songbook.
That man that was with you, what was his name?
Charles Wolf. See,
Where's he now?
well, remember, we kept waiting for him to come back. Well, what happened, see, his wife's parents lived out at Walnut Grove, and they got in bad health, so about last year, he came back, and they had a big auction. They sold the family farm and moved her parents to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. That's where he is. And he won't be back for a long time, I don't think. Oh, yeah. Well, his health really was in danger for a while because he was so overweight. I hope so, because he knows so much about all this. Charles Wolf. Don't know. I don't know what his middle name was. I'm Gordon McCann. Oh, at home it's 869. I'm in the phone book.
Gordon McCann?
Yeah. Have Springfield Blueprint Company.
Yeah.
And then of course I'm in the phone book too then. Well, listen.
Hey,
Yeah.
did I ever tell you that I probably told you how much electrical experience I have?
Oh yeah, I know all about it now. You told me all the history of the electric companies and everything here.
Well, I'm no smarter than anyone else, but you know what a volt-on milliammeter is?
Yeah, you told me about it.
Yeah, well, I got one in the 30s, and World War came along. I was the only electrician in town that had a volt-on milliammeter.
Yeah.
and I was right behind him. And I could go as that, and I had well, when I was in high school, I built radios.
Yeah, you told first time we talked, you told me all about it.
Anyhow, right now, the fellow that's out at the U.S. Medical Center, he's just been there a few years. He got most of his training under me. And he learned Solid State Secretary and repair. And he went out there. After he got a master electrician certificate, which he got while he's working for me. See, you work 4 years under a licensed electrical contractor, and then you take the test. Journeyman certificate with the city, and then you work for a licensed electrical contractor as a journeyman for 4 years. And I used to be on the board. You had to have letters from someplace licensed and 4 years experience as a journeyman before you took the test. So our youngest boy, he's out at Little Turtle now. They hired him. He was on the truck with a union contractor, and he's out there. Hired him away, and so he's been out there a year.
Look, Dave, I hate to break in on you. My wife's wanting to use the phone. I'm going to have to get off the phone. Because my wife's wanting to use the phone. Listen, I'll call you probably next week then, and we'll see if we can,
From Tennessee, what was his name?
Charles Wolf.
And yours is Gordon
McCann.
Okay.
Listen, I'll talk to you next week then. And see if you can find that list I gave you, and also your dad's stuff. And like I say, I'll make you 1 or 2 copies of your dad's stuff. That way, you know, the real fragile stuff, you won't have to worry about it then. You'll have some copies of it. Listen, I'll get with you next week then. Okay, David, thank you. Bye-bye.